way, it's the day before Thanksgiving, and I wouldn't be surprised if I had flour in my hair, but okay. We're doing chapter 26 of Jenny's first year's Latin. That's on numerals, and we're on page 118. We're first discussing cardinal numerals, and I'll put up our board. And this one is on page 119. Let's see if I can get this board kind of centered. All right. We have unus, and it is declinable, so it's unus, una, unu. And in parentheses, we have the Roman numerals. You already know those. Duo, duo, tres, tria. Number 4, quattuor. Number 5, quinque. 6 is sex. I'm not going there since I am your mater. Number 7, septem. Number 8, octo. Number 9, novem. Number 10, decem. Number 11 is undecem. Notice there's a change of spelling, and it's D-E-C-I-M, and decem by himself is D-E-C-E-M. And number 12 is duodecem, again with the I-M at the end. Number 20 is legente. 100 is centum. Of course, the derivative is century. And number 1000 is mille, and the Roman numeral for mille is M, and for centum is C. And remember, C's are hard in Latin, so it's centum. I'm going to leave that up for a second for you to copy that down. Okay. On page 118, it declines unus, una, unum, and that is regular, except in the genitive. The genitive of unus is unius, U-N-I-U-S. So you might want to look that up. Unius, the genitive singular of unus, and that's on page 118. I'm going to write down as soon as it's very hard to clean this board for me. So as soon as I finish cleaning the board, I'm going to decline duo because it's irregular, more so in just the genitive and dative. The dative singular of unus is uni, U-N-I. Again, look that up. I'll write that down for you. Hold on. I don't know why this isn't working very well. I'm not going to use the blue. It didn't work. Use the black and the red. Of course, there's no plural for unus because one is going to be singular. That only makes sense. And there is no singular for duo. Again, 2 is always going to be plural. Alright, let me write the declension for duo. Again, that's on page 118. So it'll take me a second. So we do the nominative, the genitive, dative, accusative, ablative, as always. You do learn the vocative, but we don't write it down in our forms. Because for the most part, when it ends in US or IUS, that's when it's different. But other than that, it's the same as the nominative. Hold on. Erase. It'll take me a little longer than I wanted to. time you can be looking at page 118, so you can go along with what I'm writing down, and you can notice why it's different. It's different in the dative and ablative plural. And we'll look at that in a minute. Okay. Alright. Since it's irregular in genitive and dative, it's unius in the genitive and uni in the dative, and that's across the board for the masculine, feminine, and neuter. And duo in masculine is duo, duorum, that's D-U-O-R-U-M, duobis, duos, duobis, and that's D-U-O-S, kind of put together. Feminine is duai, duorum, duobis, duos, duobis, and the neuter is duo, duorum. That should be an M, sorry. Let me fix that. Because if you're copying from me, you'll have a mistake right there. So let me fix. Just trying to write really fast. And of course, when you write things fast, you can get mistakes. M. There. So that's duo, duorum, duobis, duo, duobis. So if you want to look at that for a second, again, it's also in page 118. That covers the declensions of unos and duo. You also decline trace. And they point out that trace is regular, except of course it has no singular. And you can look at page 119. And it is an I stem, so it is trium and the genitive. And most adjectives have an I stem, so that is regular. Trium and the genitive, and that's on page 119. Also on page 119, it discusses that the cardinal numbers up to centum are indeclinable. Mille is also indeclinable. That means that unlike other adjectives, these adjectives do not change their forms to indicate gender, number, and case. The ordinal numbers, however, are declinable. And that's first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. So those are on page 119. And go ahead and look at that. I'm not going to write them down. We'll just learn them like the vocabulary. We'll go over them. So page 119, we have primus, prima, primum. And you get first. You get primitive as a derivative from that. Secundus, secunda, secundum. Second is not only the meaning, it's the derivative. Tertius, tertia, tertium is third, and tertiary is the derivative. Quartus, quarta, quartum, fourth. Quartet is the derivative. Quintus, quinta, quintum, quintet, fifth. Quintet is a derivative. Sextus, sexta, sextum, six is a derivative. A sextet, like 6 people playing, is a derivative. Septimus, septima, septum, seventh a derivative. Is the meaning. Octavus, octa, octavum. These are pronounced like W's. I didn't do that at first, but they are. And you get octave, like play the octave on the piano. That's a derivative. Nona, nona, nonum, ninth. Decamus, decima, decimum, 10th. On page 120 are more vocabulary words. Britannia, Britanniae, feminine, Britain. Cana, canine, feminine, dinner. Fenestra, fenestrae, feminine window. Graecia, Graecii, feminine Greece. Helvetia, Helvetiae, feminine Helvetia. And that's modern Switzerland. So that's a geography word. Inutia, Inutiae, wrong, injustice, sorry about that. Mensa, mensae, feminine table. Pugna, pugnae, fight. You get pugnacious, a derivative comes from that. Sella, sellae, feminine chair. Sicilia, Siciliae, Sicily. Troia, Troiae, Troy. Victoria, Victoriae, feminine victory. Of course, victory is also the derivative. Ocre, conjunction meaning and. Ot, conjunction meaning or. Ot means either or. Quod, conjunction because. See, conjunction it. Just as out means either or, et cannot mean both and. Since the top of a Roman table can be removed and used as a tray to serve a new course, mensa can also mean course. And as we learned in our culture moment, secunda mensa means dessert. So that's just a reminder since we've already learned that. Okay, you need to do your reading lesson tomorrow, so we'll go over that tomorrow. And then do our exercises. As always, do the odds. And I will talk to you tomorrow with your reading lesson. So, Wale!